everybody's enjoying their long weekend. Market is closed on Monday due to President's Day. I do hope that traders and investors alike were green on Friday. And please remember, discipline is the key to your success in trading. Well, this week we have quite a bit of things coming up. We also had some statements come out from Goldman Sachs and Bank of America. They think the market needs to pull back to 3,800. We're going to take a look at the charts and see what we think. Crude, I just want to point this out. Crude, Biden has come out and said between 67 and 72 will be the price that they'll be buying at. So we will keep that in mind as crude pulls back. So for data this week, we do have PMI on Tuesday, kind of a big deal. Wednesday, we have FOMC minutes. Thursday, jobless claims, GDP. We also have Bostic speaking on Thursday. Friday, we have consumer spending, PCE, and new home sales. So we have some catalysts there. We also have some of our names that we watch regularly reporting this week, even though the market is closed tomorrow. Tomorrow afternoon, Nordstrom reports and Williams reports. Tuesday morning, we have Walmart, Home Depot, Tech, TECK, and FLR is another name that we like to watch. So we have Coinbase, Palo Alto reporting on Tuesday afternoon. Wednesday morning, we have TJ Maxx, Garmin reports that can provide some opportunities during the actual reports, how we like to trade earnings. NVIDIA, Unity, Esti, Apache, Sunrun, all on Wednesday afternoon. So Thursday, we have Moderna on Thursday morning. We have Domino's. We also have Nikola, Yeti. Thursday afternoon, we have Block, Wish. And on Friday, I don't really see anything. ACM's in there. I don't really see anything that I think will do a lot of movement on Friday. So let's get down to the charts. We're going to look at some things, talk about some different candles, and see where we expect. Still expecting a short-term move to the downside. This market has definitely not wanted to go down. Breath has pointed very negative for a few weeks now, and we are starting to see some pullbacks. I do like that the market's held in this long while we were expecting a pullback. So I'm thinking the pullback will probably be minor, and I do think there's more upside coming into the market. I'm not talking all new highs or anything, but I do think there's some more upside coming in this market. You can tell by the FOMO. So let's start looking at some charts. We got the PC, put the call ratio is 103, so we are back into the bearish zone there. This is the oscillators. This is for the NASDAQ, so we're at negative 108, and for the New York Stock Exchange, we are negative 141. So a little warm over the 100 mark. We prefer to stay under the 100 mark and being a neutral. We are a little warm, but we have plenty of room to move in either direction. So this is the SPX, the S&P 500 has, we broke this trend out a few weeks ago. Actually 4 weeks ago, and now we're flagging nicely. We got a nice push with some follow through. I really like getting that follow through candle. Now we're just kind of flagging, hanging out. We're above the 50. The weekly 9 is on the way up. The weekly 20 is on the way up to join price for a move higher. So I do think that we can easily pull back right here into this 50 and this 9 area. When this candle, starting this week, this 50 is going to move. We're getting a new candle this week, and this 50 is going to move. Hopefully it can move right up to at least the edge of that 9. So this is our breath chart, and you can see breath is still negative, moving lower. We did turn up on Friday on our moving average, but this moving average, there's been a bearish divergence here, and we have not been able to come back and match the high of this candle. So we've been able to see just market's telling us some signs here. We've not been able to put in a new high, steady, moving lower, and we closed on that dragonfly. We're going to talk more about that when we get to the SPY chart. TNX, this is the yields. This is letting us know, and we also know that bonds are coming in. So with the bonds coming in, yields are rising. That's a sign letting us know that inflation is rising right now. The US dollar, so we are back above this 9 and 20. We're struggling to get a whole lot of momentum for a big move here. Still keeping an eye up, still expecting a move higher. VIX had a down day on Friday after a big bullish engulfing on Thursday. This candle come down and pierced into the previous candle. So a little bearishness there, and you can see crude here. And like I say, Biden's going to start looking at refilling the reserves between 67 and 72. So that could be a bottom here for crude. We'll definitely have an eye on our energy names. We've been expecting a little short-term bearish on the energy names since crude's been struggling like it has with that big draw we've seen last week. So we got Apple here once again closed on this dragonfly under the 9. Apple is one of the better looking charts right now. Still plenty of money, holding into this, not really seeing any money come out of it, but we are losing our momentum there on our MACD. The MACD does look like it wants to roll over. I could see us pulling back. I mean, we could pull all the way back to the 50 here and still be in good shape. Pulling back, putting in a lower high for the, put a base in for the next move up. Apple here intraday, nice push on Friday. We had a really nice push. Was able to share my screen the whole day Friday, and it was a really good day. The signals worked really great. Just a great day. Gold, two bullish inside days there on the close, but you can see the wicks to the downside, kind of like clues. Little detective work sometimes on these charts. So this is breadth. This is a sign, another way that we analyze breadth in the market. So this chart tells us what the percentage of stocks over the 200-day and over the 50-day moving averages for the New York Stock Exchange and the S&P 500. So we can see for the New York Stock Exchange, we still have 66% over their 200-day, 73% over their 50-day. Market's holding in very well, 68 and 64 for the S&P. So the red's the 200, the gold, the yellow is the 50-day. So the market is holding in really well right now. So, and that tells us, that gives us an idea of the percentage of the stocks that are trending upwards anyway, even though we know a lot of them are starting to break down. So you can see our advanced decline lines here. We are back below the 9, all but the mid and small caps remain above the 9, barely, but they are still above the 9. That's a good sign. And we're going to look at the IWM chart, one of the very last charts we're going to look at, and it's a very nice looking chart compared to a lot of others. So you got AMC here. AMC's put in a lower high. You can look at this as shoulder, head, shoulders. So AMC is looking very head and shoulders here. Draw your neckline right across, downward sloping. We're looking for a break below this neckline would be our entry. We want to be below that bullish engulfing candle for an entry, definitely. And you can see AMC here intraday, not too big of a move on Friday. We had a lot of chop on Friday. You can see AMD here, a lot of chop. Did get a break here at the end of the day, trying to push back up. AMD did trade weaker than a lot of other names on Friday. So you can see Amazon, we've talked about this pattern forming a head and shoulders. It's upward sloping. Once again, we're looking to break below when you're dealing with these upward slopings. The neckline, so we broke the neckline. Preferably take your entry below this armpit, and we're heading down. So see how this plays out, but we seen this pattern forming. It's not the most perfect pattern being so upward sloping, but it's there, so we have to be aware of it. Definitely we need to be aware of it. ARC here, nice strong candle last Wednesday, but we got this gravestone here kind of giving us some, clues to a possible downside move. But as of right now, we got this little pen bar here that is holding the 9 and 20. So the 9 and 20, I like the way the moving averages are angled right now. It looks like we could just move up. I would like to see some more action in that MACD, but that's not a bad looking chart. Some indecision there, but seeing that little pin bar on that 9 and 20, you never bet against your daily 9 until you're comfortably below it. So you got Abby here. We got this double top, nice move down. You can see how we finding support down here. See the way these wicks were pointed to the downside. Let us know every time the bears brought it back down, the bulls were able to recover. So we know there's some support down in this area, and we are reacting to it. They also had earnings, this big gap up here. This was on earnings. You could see huge move higher, bears were able to take most of that candle back, but we have been able to move up. Now we're strong candle Friday. I believe money's going back into value the way it looks. You got a nice strong MACD there. I would be looking for some follow through off that candle. The candle closed very strong. And just the fact that, value names right now will probably see some attention if the markets can pull back like we're expecting. So AMD, we got to see AMD's intraday action a while ago. This is AMD's daily action. You can see how the candle closed red. You can see where we actually gapped down a little bit, opened up, and then we moved lower. At the end of the day, you can see where the bulls recovered some of it, and we've seen that on the intraday chart. Right now, AMD is trading below its 200-day. Watch for support right here at this cup. As you can see, it has found support there. You can see AMD's weekly chart back below the weekly 50. Right here at the weekly support level that we have marked off, your weekly 200, your 9 and 20, 9 and 20 on the way up. We're still above the 200. MACD still looks decent. We could see some momentum when we get down to the 9, but it does look like we want to see some more downside. Affirm kind of looks like a lower high there. Bear flagged right into the 9, rejected. Below this 50-day, I'm bearish. Above the 9, I'm willing to start looking bullish, but I need to be below this 50-day. You can see on the way down, look for support at these end of these wicks. So there was a reason why this candle initially stopped right there because at some point in time the bears had some control of these candles and they were pulling them down. So there's a reason why these candles stopped down here. So there could be support on your way down. Doesn't mean don't let it scare you out of taking a trade, but just be aware that you have support there, and you could be willing to take, be willing and ready to take profits when you get to that area. And you can see Affirm here move down, tried to recover at the end of the day, but couldn't take the end of the opening candles out. Amazon, same thing. Huge move down, big bearish engulfing right at open, like they were mad at it, and it kept moving lower and moving lower and moving lower. Kind of see it trying to hammer out a little base here, and we finally was able to get some recovery into the end of the day, which we know they were buying at the end of the day. And here's Amazon trying to hold your 20 weekly, your 9 weeklies flagging up, trying to come up underneath the price. When it gets there, it may push price higher. So you can see Apple trading here within the last 2 weeks is traded within. So basically within you got 3 weeks here, right here, and you can see the last 2 weeks have been trading within that previous week's candle. So I'm bullish above this candle line. Where this candle closed right here, I'm bullish. Look for resistance at the top of that wick if Apple wants to move up. Apple is holding this weekly 50 to 9 and 20 have rolled up to try to push up. So I would be bullish above this candle line right here if we can take that candle out. Boeing, I thought we were getting a breakout of this little rectangle here. When I see these moving averages like this, it's just a sign that we're going to, or I'm sorry, the Bollinger Bands, when I see them trading that tight and that straight, to me, that's just a sign that we're going to trade sideways. I've talked about that. Looks like we just need to consolidate a little bit. BABA below this 50 here. It's hard to call these day to day. They're so gappy. Like to see that 9 below that 50, and I'm bearish below the 50. Bitcoin, strong candle last week. That's a strong move, flagging off your weekly 9. Here on the daily, looks a little different. We've tried to show some momentum this weekend. It's tried to push up. The bears keep bringing it back down. But this initial bearish engulfing candle right here, this candle line is holding support right now. If we can break back below that candle, look for support right here at these candles, which is basically where your daily 9 is telling you that there's support. But you can kind of see some indecision up here with a spinning top. We have this move down here. This candle right here obviously opened up, pushed yesterday, very bullish, and the bears were able to take that back down. Once again, this candle has opened up, respected the previous candle line, but not getting much action. Good chance it may try to move down towards that 9. So when you start to see these candles, you can start putting together the clues and get a good idea of where the market's going to be heading. Remember, a candle's not anything until the next candle opens up and confirms the previous candle. Boeing intraday, just kind of choppy there. You can see Chewy choppy here, big move down. CVX Chevron, we've been bearish on the energy names, expecting for a move lower due to that big draw that we've seen, and we're starting to get that. Intraday here, pretty choppy. So you can see Friday we did not have a lot of range, but we traded like we expected. We expected to see some sharp moves in both directions, and we were able to take advantage of that because that's exactly what we expected on options expiration day. So we really got exactly what we expected. Had a great day in the Discord because we understood we understood how to trade it, and we already expected the exact action that we got. Cat still kind of trading here, still watching this pattern, still just a group of candles until that pattern is formed and that neckline is taken out. Charge point, a little double topish here. You can kind of see this resistance level. This bullish engulfing confirmed resistance right here. I'm sorry, this bullish engulfing candle pushing up and stopping, and then this candle opening up and moving lower just confirms that there's resistance at that level. Wanting to move lower here below the 9 and 20 on the daily, I could look for a move down to the 50 or those previous candles. Chewy, you can see this double top here. It has been confirmed. Well, I like it better when it's comfortably below this candle right here. And we have moved lower than that. See where we open tomorrow. If we open and remain below this previous candle body, the spinning top right here, or doji right there, look for a move lower. You may find support at the candle where this wick stops at. So watch that wick for possible support as you pull back. Cisco, earnings move, nice move up, kind of a little dark cloud coverish here. Would like to have seen it move back into this candle, but we did pierce into the previous candle. Barely, but we did cut into it. That could be a signal for the downside. It all depends on where your next candle opens up at. So coin here, and you can see pushed up coin. You can see the wicks up here kind of telling you right now coin looks like a lower high. Look how the nines change character. We're not seeing it roll up. If this 9 crosses this 20 instead of trying to roll, we're going to look for a move lower. This looks like a lower high. A nice bullish move up, but I do believe Bitcoin's got a pullback. I don't think it's going to be a big pullback, but even a small pullback provides opportunities. You can see XLP trading in this downtrend. It's actually a descending, broadening channel there. We got to keep an eye on those. But if you go back, let me go back to this chart real quick. Got a strong bullish engulfing candle on Friday. There are some value names in that sector, so we want to keep an eye on that. DraftKings earnings beat, nice strong move up. You can see it was a big battle here both ways. But a move up on their better than expected earnings. Let me put it that way. I don't really want to say a beat, but a better than expected earnings. So Lily here, we've got this head and shoulders pattern, nice move down. We flagged lower here. Once again, look at this small candle. It's a small dark cloud cover, opened up above the previous candle and pierced into the previous candle body. That give you a bearish signal to the downside. You got a second bearish signal here, a bearish engulfing, give you another bearish signal lower. This candle right here, I would like to have seen it obviously break lower than those candles, but we got this when this candle did gap down. It gapped down below this previous body, and looks like it's right here, barely above this one, but that is a strong move to the downside there. You can see it come back, tested resistance, and then moved lower. Friday's candle was on the strong side, trying to push back up. Watching that 200-day for resistance, we could possibly see a move back up to that 9 and 20 if we can get back above that 200-day. A flag, just basically a move up to put in a flag for a move lower, most likely. The only thing that worries me with those names right now is them coming in looking for value names if the market does pull back like we are expecting. Like I say, I'm not expecting a huge pullback. Talk a little more about it when we get to the SPY chart. So energy here also breaking lower, taking this downtrend out, but that's what we expected. You got a big gap down on Friday. FCX bearish below that 50-day right there. At this point, I want to move below that 50. So you got Google. Google's looking head and shoulders here. That would be your neckline. You could get a shoulder, a head, a shoulder. I should have drew the shoulder instead of just putting the lines on it. It was being lazy on my part. But bearish below this neckline. We have to confirm for this to be a head and shoulders pattern. You can see IWM intraday. IWM traded fairly well on Friday. You can see the symmetrical triangle here breaking to the upside. So we had a symmetrical triangle that we broke out to the upside. With the SPY, we had a falling wedge. The Qs, you can see this candle. You got this little, it's not quite, that's more of a doji. It's not really a dragonfly. You can see the bears, big gap down. The bears had moved the candle lower, and the bulls were able to come back in and recover some of it. So there's a lot of mixed feelings in that candle. You can see right here how low we moved down, but we closed fairly strong. So we didn't quite take out the opening candles, but we come up and matched them. So that candle, we could see a move up off that candle, but the market has so it just seemed like we went risk on at the end of the day. We had a nice run, and we seen that coming. We were able to spot it on intraday charts. Had a really nice run, and that provided some opportunities. But the market really feels like it needs to pull back a little more or trade sideways. The rest, let these weekly moving averages catch up. Like right here, you can see the Qs close. We had this big bullish engulfing candle, or strong green candle, strong up candle, and the second 2 weeks have been spinning top, and then doji just kind of giving us some indecision. Doesn't want to go up, doesn't want to go down. Just a big battle right there. Those weekly 9 and 20, if we can get back to those or let those catch up, should help us move up. You can see JP Morgan broke below the trend line, opened up below the trend line, but was able to push back up on Friday. Lift, just a ugly move down here. We do still have this gap. We should have, I haven't drawn it in yet, but we can watch this gap here. If we can push up, look for a gap fill. Right now, I'm not bullish until we get back above this strong green candle, this strong bullish candle, until we can get back up above that candle line there. Moderna, head and shoulders pattern. So we come back down here, tested this level of support, and pushed back up. So just a nice flag, expecting this 9 and 20 to roll down, move us lower. The whole sector's been suffering. Moderna, you can see the trend, trending up here on the daily. MU, pretty nice move down. MU had quite a bit of range on it Friday, which was, traded nicer than a lot of these other names. So you can see Macy's here. We had this contraction pattern, had this whole move, took it out, moving lower. We're running right back into this trend line plus this 50 here. Bearish below this trend line. Preferably would like to see the candle open up below. Like, let's just say if we gap down. Mara. Mara looks like it's putting in. Right now, it's just a lower high. Mara may have some upside. MACD looks like it's possibly wanting to roll over. Bullish above this candle. I mean, this bullish engulfing candle here was really not just a strong candle, really not a bullish engulfing. And you can see down here, an extra candle here, but that's kind of morning star-ish. Give us a signal for the move up here. Strong candle, 2 days, basically 2 inside days. See where we go from here. We need this 9. 9 is curling up, holding this 20. This 9 is curling up. For Mara to move higher, we need this 9 to catch up and push us up. If we do push there, that 200 is resistance. Just a lot of mixed signals in this market. And Merck, this is one signal. Merck safety name. You can see that action on Friday, back above this daily 50. Nice strong MACD there. Just looks like they want to come after some of these value names, and if they do, they're probably going to be dropping some of the growth and tech names. Meta working on this gap here. Just just some tight action, so we're expecting a move. Just not much to go by right now in between that 9 and 20. You can see Meta here. Meta had a very strong move off the lows and continued to push in after hours as well. So that's one that we need to have on our radar because of this after hours move in Meta. And you can see MU here breaking lower. Bearish below this 200 here. We have broken out of that little flag, but I'd like to take that 200 out. This wick here confirms that 200 as support. Microsoft rolling over, you can see right here, was unable to put in a new high, rolling over the 20-day right now is support, just now losing the MACD, expecting to see this 9 to roll over and move back. I can see us coming back down to the we can see the 200 there, but probably a move back down to that 50-day. Microsoft, not a whole lot of action there. Microsoft traded in a pretty tight range. And you can see Microsoft's weekly chart. We did get back into this broadening channel, so we never really confirmed up here. This candle gapped up and break back into it. Just not good. Not great action there. Nvidia coming into earnings this week. Now they could have a blowout earnings and it could change the course for them, without a doubt. You can see your Bollinger Bands tightening up here coming in. Looks like we're possibly getting ready for a move. Come back down, retested the 20. Now the 20 is your meme and your Bollinger Band, so we could obviously push off the 20 or lose the 20. Watching this 20-day is going to give us a good idea of what Nvidia is getting ready to do. Like I say, earnings could completely change everything. This MACD wants to roll over there as well. You are crossed bearish histograms going to the downside. Nvidia intraday, nice push Friday right into your 15-minute 50. After hours was able to push above that 15-minute 50. So Nvidia is another one I want to keep an eye on. Now Nvidia weekly chart. See how these candles are pushing up? This is called an advanced block. It's a 3-candle pattern. Basically, strong candle, less strength, less strength. So just some signals there, just with the candles, the size of the candles, the size of the wicks growing, and then last week's candle closing down, still holding the previous candle body levels for support. So I'm bearish breaking below this candle, looking for a move down. But we're seeing some signs there that, something's changing. The attitude's changing. The emotion sets is changing. I do think we need to pull back. The NASDAQ here, crossing bearish, same setup. We're holding this little pin bar here, holding the 20-day. It did close green, so we closed higher than it opened. So we did get a higher close there, but this looks like a lower high. I'm trying to move lower. So we can come back to the 50-day there as well. Netflix, your Bollinger Bands have crossed, looking like a move's coming. Below the 9 and 20 there. Another one pulling back to the 50 wouldn't hurt anything. Palantir, strong 2-day move off earnings. You got a sign right here. You can see the wicks to the upside. Actually seeing this candle found support at the 50% mark of the previous candle, but you can see the bearishness in this candle. The bulls pushed it up. It did gap down. The bulls ripped it up. Strong, strong, strong. The bearish were able to bring this candle back down. So it's a lot of bearishness. This support right here at this bullish engulfing candle, or this strong, it's not really a bullish engulfing candle, but this strong bullish candle here, this candle could not close below that. Looking for a close below this candle, then looking for the previous candle's range to trade in. Pendleton, higher low there as well. Just seeing some weakness. Plug's chopping around. Possible double bottom here, maybe. Just we need to see. Got a little base going on here. We need to see how it acts there. Q's monthly chart trying to push up here, but we are struggling. We do have the 20 up here. If we do continue to push, say if we do push this weekend, a lot's where the next candle opens up on Tuesday will give us a lot of information on where this market's going. Riot looks like another possible lower high. MACD looks like it wants to roll over. As long as I'm above this 9 and 20, I'm short-term bullish there anyway. Short-term bearish on most of the market, and we're going to look at the semis, the SMHs as well here very soon. So we're going to give us an idea of what the market's doing. Semis are very important, and we need strong semis. We need strong transports. We need strong banks. We need participation, broad participation for this market to move higher. Roblex, strong candle off of earnings, and we're giving it back. This candle opening up and breaking below this candle's candle line there, definitely a sign of weakness. Roku holding this 200 up here, 9 and 20 need to get caught up if it wants to move higher. SPX changed the fib levels up. You can see we're trying to come back down to the 38.2. If we retrace to the 50%, would put us right here in the 39, 90, 80-ish area, right there with the weekly, the daily 50. So we have Goldman Sachs and Bank of America think we need to pull back to 3,800. That would put us down here to retest this base that we put in for that almost 3-week period. So this is the SMH. This is the monthly chart of the SMH. You can see just like the SPY here, this chart looks a lot like the SPY. The monthly 20 is still resistance. We need to take that out if we want to move higher, obviously. You can see your weekly chart basically pulled back, holding 50% of this previous candle for support. We have the 9 already crossed the 50. The 20's on its way up. Just kind of looks like it wants to flag. I can see us moving back down, maybe, hopefully no lower than the bottom of this candle, but I can see it's coming back down to the 9 there before wanting to move higher. This is the diamond. The diamond's still trading in that little symmetrical triangle. This is the diamond weekly. You can see we're trading here in a little symmetrical triangle as well after breaking out of that descending broadening channel. The SPY flagging, your 9's crossing the 50 this week. This is going to move higher when the Tuesday's candle opens up. We're clearly going to cross this 50. We have 2 inside weeks trading. I can see a test of the 50 before we move higher. That would put us, coming back down, testing the 397, possible 400 area. And I can, that wouldn't be too far out of the question. And we could still, so if we come back and test the 400 area, it's probably going to put us right into this 50. This 50 is going to move higher by the time we get to it. And I think that would be comfortable if we go back and look. So would just give us a higher low. And that would be comfortable for the next move up, letting some stuff reset. This is the SPY monthly. Once again, the Qs, not the Qs. Once again, your 20-day or your 20 monthly is resistance, just like we just seen on SMH. And the SPY here is broken below the 9 and 20. We can easily see a move down to this 50. That would not hurt anything. Would give us a nice pullback, move lower to launch for another move up. This is the symmetrical triangle. We had the screens up the whole day, sharing, talking price action. Nice symmetrical triangle. We expected this breakout and this nice move up. Was a really nice day. If you go look on your 1 and 5 minute charts, we got quick, strong reversals. Exactly what we were expecting. They added up, smaller, more trades, smaller trades added up. So you got the SPY, all the bearish on short term, medium term is wanting to change, barely bullish, wanting to change, bearish. Short term is still bullish. Square's coming in for earnings this week. Another case of lower highs there. TLT resistance right here. We're moving lower. Your weekly 20 support, weekly 9's resistance. Tesla intraday, nice push up on Tesla at the end of the day for Friday. This is TSL. Going to be removing this chart from the list. I just wanted to show it one more time. This is a way to trade bullish, Tesla bullish. If you have a smaller account, trading Tesla can be challenging. So you can trade TSL with shares, TSLL with shares, not options, but with shares. And especially pre-market, after hours, it gets enough volume that it is tradable. XLK, once again, you can see just unable to take out this candle line here, breaking down from it. Multiple tests of resistance holds. Tesla weekly, Tesla's pushing up there. You can see some wicks up there. Friday, we opened up below the 9, was able to push up and recover that. Back above the 9, MACD's changing character. GDX, big move down there. We were been expecting a pullback in gold and gold names. SMH, this is SMH's daily. Breaking lower below the 9 and 20 here. A lot like the SPY. XLF kind of rolling. So we're seeing some action, possibly a pullback in banks. ExxonMobil down candle, big strong down candle. That candle could see some follow through to the downside. Watch your 50 coming in for support. So if you go back, let's take another look. Right here, there's some support right at this candle line. We need to take that out. Then your 50 would be your next target. MACD's cross bearish. TLT, possible double top here. Would have to take this center out here to confirm a double top. It's not a good sign. We want bonds to be bullish. So we have IWM weekly candle, a little pennant here, double inside week, 9 and 20, turning up higher. That's one of the better looking weekly charts. One of the better looking daily charts. IWM looks like it wants to move higher there. And that concludes our video for today. I hope everybody finds this helpful. I will see you in the trading room. Have a great weekend.